Welcome to Handling Travel Pay Correctly in 2019. First, let's review what we're going to talk about today. So first, we're going to talk about defining hours worked. So the Federal Department of Labor and State Department of Labor's based defining hours worked on several different things, but the definition of hours worked is really what drives when you have to pay somebody and when you don't have to pay somebody. So we're going to talk about that and really understand what hours worked means. We're going to talk about preliminary and post-preliminary activities. We're going to talk about on-call time, on-duty waiting time. Then we're going to talk about training and seminar time, and then travel pay. For all of these, I also give you real-life court cases, so you can kind of see how the courts have ruled. So some of these are a little bit of a gray area, so some employers really struggle with that. So I like to give you the court cases to kind of drive home how the courts are going to look at it from a court perspective. Then we're going to dive into travel expenses. So the IRS travel expense concerns, a lot of times small employers, the same person who's doing payroll is also maybe adding travel expenses to payroll checks or things of that nature, and they're trying to maintain an accountable plan. So we're going to talk about that because some of the definitions from a travel expense perspective is different than for a payroll and what we know is the employee's home location. Then we will have a brief question and answer segment at the end. So we have a lot to cover in a short period of time, so let's get started. Defining hours worked. So the federal government has a very specific requirement around defining hours worked and what defining hours worked means. And the first thing is most of the time the federal government says, well, it's based on the scenario. Well, Dana, that doesn't help me. What does that mean based on the scenario?